Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 25 games on the MetaQuest 2, 3, and 3S overall. So games overall since the Quest has been released, not just this year, but all the years combined. I love doing lists like this because it really makes me see how far VR has come and how many games have changed off this list year over year. So many great games to showcase to you guys, a lot of new ones that were added this year. If you guys want to purchase any of these games to support the channel, links for all of these games will be down below in the description. And let's go ahead and get into the video.
The Greek
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
So the first one here coming in at number 25 is Tales from Galaxy's Edge. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and they did a really good job with this Star Wars game. It's a full-fledged Star Wars game where there's actual story in here. You're going through, you have a little bit of everything. You have a little bit of lightsaber action, you have a little bit of gunplay, a little bit of story, a little bit of adventure, and it's a true unique Star Wars story that takes multiple hours to get through. The graphics are, in my opinion, fantastic in this game. And, you know, being in Galaxy's Edge, recognizing some of the characters and stuff like that is a really, really cool thing. They also added some DLC to this game that, you know, even extended the story on top of it, which I thought was really cool. So, you know, I hope that they're working on something, you know, next. This has been around for a while now because they did a great job with this one, and I can't wait to see, you know, what these guys do next. But if you're a Star Wars fan, this is one not to be missed on the Quest. I think it's fantastic and awesome. Check it out. Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge coming in at number 25. The next one here coming in at number 24 is Iron Man VR, and honestly, I didn't think we would get this game on the Quest because it came out on the PlayStation first. I thought they had the exclusive rights to this game, so I loved it on the original PlayStation VR, but I'm super happy that they ported it over to the Quest because it is just as good as I remember it being on the PlayStation VR. If you've ever wanted to feel like Iron Man, you know, the beginning of the game where you actually feel like you're becoming Iron Man, the pieces fly at you, you're in the air, and you're kind of putting on the bodysuit and everything. It's fantastic, especially if you're a Marvel and Iron Man fan, and you get to fly around, shoot the baddies, go through this whole entire adventure and story. It really does make you feel like a superhero. It really does make you feel like Iron Man. Camouflage kind of knocked this one out of the park, in my opinion, and it still stands today, even though it's been multiple years since this came out on the PlayStation VR. Marvel fans and Iron Man fans, definitely check this one out. Iron Man VR coming in at number 24. The next one here coming in at number 23 has got to be After the Fall. I know that this game has been around for a while now, but this is like Left 4 Dead in VR where you and three of your friends cooperatively go through all these levels trying to kill a bunch of bad people and you know, aliens and stuff like that, going through, and you're trying to upgrade your weapons to basically do that run again on harder difficulties. It's that Left 4 Dead gameplay. The graphics are great. You know, playing with your friends is fantastic. I've actually sold a few Quest headsets because of this game, and we still play this game to this day. And not only do you have the cooperative side, but they also did add multiplayer as well, so you can play PvP against each other as well. This game has a little bit of everything for everyone, in my opinion. And even though it's old at this point, it's still fantastic, and there's no game like it. After the Fall coming in at number 23. The next one here coming in at number 22 is Drop Dead the Cabin. So for all you guys who love that Call of Duty zombies type gameplay where you're going through with your friends and you're trying to kill all the zombies cooperatively through all these levels, that is this game right here. They did a fantastic job of bringing that type of experience into VR, and they also have this mixed reality mode, which I thought is awesome as well, where you actually have to defend your own home, where they actually open up portals through your window and stuff like that, and you're trying to keep the zombies back from entering your home. It's all super cool. I love the Call of Duty zombies type experience, and having a game like this in VR, all the different weapons and going through the map and unlocking different things and going through the story that's in here. Again, they knocked this one out of the park, in my opinion. It's super fun to play, and yeah, I couldn't ask for a better game than this. Drop Dead the Cabin coming in at number 22. The next one here coming in at number 21 is Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. So this is a game that I think a lot of people are familiar with. Five Nights at Freddy's is a hugely popular game in the 2D space on PC and stuff, and I think they did a fantastic job with the original one on bringing it over to VR, and this is the sequel to that one where you're, again, you know, it's one of the scariest games that you can play in VR, where you're kind of manipulating these camera controls, looking for him to come through and stuff like that, and you have to play all these different mini games and keep an eye on him as a security guard to make sure he doesn't sneak up on you and stuff like that. The thrill and stuff like that of you playing these mini games but looking behind your back and looking behind your shoulder to make sure he doesn't come in, is one of the scariest games you can play, especially if you're afraid of like clown type things and stuff like that. Definitely a really fun game. The mini games are the best in the series, in my opinion. That's why I chose this one over the first one. Fantastic game. If you're into the franchise and have played this in 2D, definitely recommend it in VR. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 coming in at number 21. The next one here coming in at number 20 is Contractors. Contractors is all about, you know, gunplay and first-person shooter, and it is a game that I love because I'm a huge Call of Duty fan, like we talked about early in here. I love the fast-paced nature of first-person shooters, and that is this game in VR. It's been the one that I've played for a very long time. Started off on PC and then got it on the Quest when it came out, and they did a great job of bringing it over. If you're into that, you know, fast-paced Call of Duty type nature in VR, this is that game. They have all the different modes that you would expect, like deathmatch, team deathmatch, domination, and all those things in here. The maps are super cool. The modding community is great, making maps that we all know and love from different franchises like Call of Duty, like Halo and stuff. The mods are awesome. It's what really keeps the game alive. The gunplay is tight and fantastic and fun. So if you guys are into that style of gameplay, definitely urge you to check this one out. This is Contractors coming in at number 20. The next one here coming in at number 19 is Golf Plus. Golf Plus is a fantastic golf game that has a little bit for everyone, in my opinion. So it has the regular golf experience. We have 18 holes and they have all these different courses, which is really cool. And they're coming out with new courses all the time, and you can play in real iconic courses that you know from around the world, which is awesome. But then they also have the mini golf experience where you can actually play mini golf in the game as well. And they also have the Top Golf experience. If you guys have experienced Top Golf in real life and you know that you have you and 7 of your friends kind of shooting there and trying to get the ball in certain areas of the golf course and stuff like that, and they give you a certain amount of points. In that Top Golf experience, that is all here. They have a nice social hub where you can enjoy that with your friends, and a bunch of different mini games that you can play and stuff like that. And you can listen to YouTube videos and music while you play. All super fantastic. It's a package that's been around for a while and it's great. And they're still adding iconic courses from around the world. Super fun game. Golf Plus coming in at number 19. The next one here coming in at number 18 is Exploding Kittens. Now, you guys know I love my board games on this channel, and I love to see when they actually make board games in the right way for VR, and this is that game done super well. It's my favorite board game to play on VR. First of all, Exploding Kittens is a really popular card game that's been around for a really long time, sold at Target and everything. It's very reminiscent of Uno and stuff, but with its own twist. And they didn't just bring the card game into VR, but they did a gigantic social area. Again, I love my social hubs where you can have a bunch of players at different tables playing these different games. They have different modes of the game as well, different unlockables, different mini games in that social hub, online multiplayer, single player against AI, all these different things. And even playing the card game has unique VR things that you can only do in VR. So they knocked it out of the park as far as recreating this game in VR, and they definitely put effort into this. It's super, super awesome. If you guys are fans of Exploding Kittens, check it out. Coming in at number 18. The next one here coming in at number 17 is Smash Drums. If you guys are fans of Rock Band and games like that, this is that game done in VR, and this is another one that I think is awesome, especially, you know, a year ago or so when they actually started adding real tracks that we all know and love from obviously real artists and stuff, because in the beginning they were just adding, you know, more obscure bands and stuff like that, so I wasn't as interested. But now with the new DLC that they keep adding all the time with new artists, they just released one like a week or so ago, you know, this game really turned up a notch. The mixed reality mode that they did in this game is also super awesome, where your ceiling is kind of opening up and, you know, you feel like you're in a rock concert and stuff like that. You have the band in front of you and the crowd in front of you, all the different songs and the different modes that you can play this in. You can either play it in the drum fashion that you see kind of coming at you like you saw there, but you can also play it in a way where you kind of reminisce like Rock Band, where the notes are coming at you in that style of Rock Band instead of, you know, the drums coming at you like you see here. So you have all these different things. They have multiplayer as well, which is super cool. So Smash Drums, one of my favorite rhythm games, obviously being on this list, coming in at number 17. The next one here coming in at number 16, keeping up with the music rhythm games, is Synth Riders. And this one has risen up the list of where I would have put it originally, because Synth Riders was awesome, but it wasn't like my favorite music rhythm game until they started doing stuff like this Barbie one that you see here, which is their latest one, which are these music experiences. Not only do they do in mixed reality like you're looking at here, but full VR experiences where you really feel like you're a part of that world, and it makes playing these games super awesome. They're doing unique things that other music rhythm games aren't doing, where they're actually recreating the whole entire song, but putting you into that world like you see here for Barbie, which I thought was super awesome and super cool. It really makes me feel like I'm in a different world while playing these songs and really feeling the music and being in a music video type experience. If they keep doing stuff like this game will keep rising up in the ranks as far as my favorite music rhythm game. This stuff is awesome, and Synth Riders has always been a fantastic game with multiplayer, with up to 8 friends, a bunch of different songs from a variety of different artists, from small ones to big ones, and the gameplay is fantastic, as you guys are looking at here. So Synth Riders coming in at number 16. The next one here coming in at number 15 is Racket Club. Resolution Games is one of my favorite developers. They have multiple games on this list, and this game is one of my favorites from them. It really feels like a combination of racquetball and tennis, and they have these great social hubs like I talked about before. I love those, where there's a bunch of people in a social hub area, everyone playing their own thing, 1v1 or 2v2. The physics in this game are top notch and amazing. They have a single player mode as well that you can go through in story mode, or you can play online with all your different friends, and it has really addicting gameplay that we all know and love. The physics and the gameplay of this are just super addictive. Every time I end a match, I'm like, can I play one more? Can I play one more? And that's exactly what Resolution Games usually do for me. It's always like, let me just play one more. They do a fantastic job making their games, and this one is super fun. Racket Club coming in at number 15. The next one here coming in at number 14 is Pistol Whip, a game that's been around for a really long time, one of the original music rhythm games that a lot of people loved. And this is what sets this one apart is the fact that you have a pistol in your hand and you're shooting these different enemies and stuff like that as you're going through and trying to kill them to the beat of the actual song being played. There's also dual wielding, so you can dual wield 2 pistol whips. They have a bunch of different modifiers to change up the gameplay. Since this game has been around for a while, they've added a ton of DLC into this game for free, a bunch of different songs and stuff like that. But I think what also makes this game unique is that they actually have levels that they actually tell in a story. So you're going through a story, playing each level where it's actually telling a story as you go through them, like the cowboy story here and the Wild West and stuff, which was super cool. Each theme to their own different thing, boss battles, all that kinds of stuff. Super awesome, super unique, multiplayer, all that stuff is all there. Leaderboard support. Pistol Whip coming in at number 14. The next one here coming in at number 13 is Demeo Battles, another one from Resolution Games, and you can interchange this with Demeo or Demeo Battles. Demeo is the original one where you and your 3 friends are playing like a D&D board game type game where you have a bunch of different cards and enemies that you're moving tactically around the map, cooperatively trying to kill the going through the story and killing the AI and stuff like that. It really feels like you're playing D&D in a board game and stuff like that. And Demeo Battles here is that game, but a lot easier to play because you can play this in 10 or 15 minutes, but it's PvP. You and your 3 friends are trying to now compete against each other and knock all the enemies off the board and be the last one standing using those same type of cards, same type of gameplay. The mixed reality mode in this is super awesome. It really feels like you have a board game on your table. Again, Resolution Games always knocks it out of the park, in my opinion, with all the games that they do. And both of these games interchangeably are amazing depending on what style of game you're actually going for. Demeo Battles coming in at number 13. The next one here coming in at number 12 is Population 1. This is a game that is Battle Royale, so if you're into Battle Royale games, you and up to 2 of your friends, or you can play solo, of course, go into this gigantic map and you're trying to be the last team standing or the last one standing. Really awesome gameplay, really awesome weapons. They're still updating this game all the time. As Battle Royale games usually do with seasons and stuff like that. The flying in this game is what always made it unique when it first came out. The climbing and up the buildings and stuff like that is super fun. And there's not a lot of games like this with Battle Royale, and this one is still super popular and of course free to play as well. It used to be paid a while ago, but now it's free to play. And now that it's a partnership with Meta, they're always adding new content into this game. So if you're into the Battle Royale franchise, this is definitely a game I recommend. Population 1 coming in at number 12. The next game here coming in at number 11 is 11 Table Tennis. Table tennis is one of my favorite games to play in VR, and the physics in this one are spot on, and it really is awesome that I can play with anybody in the world in all these different environments and feel like I'm playing ping pong in real life. I never feel like I lose a ball because of the game. It's always my fault. It really feels like I have a ping pong table in my room, and it's awesome that I can play anyone in the world because, I used to have a ping pong table, but it was hard to getting friends over every time I wanted to play it, and now thanks to VR, I can always play with someone. 11 Table Tennis at number 11. The next one here coming in at number 10 is Beat Saber, a game that doesn't need any introduction. It's been a hugely popular game. Still my favorite rhythm game in VR. And, it's super addicting. It makes you feel like a badass with those lightsabers, making you feel like you're in like a Star Wars lightsaber type game, and you're going through the beat of the music and stuff like that. The modding community is, of course, insane. They have so many different songs now because everyone's always modding this game, adding new songs and stuff because, again, it is super popular and has been since the very beginning, and it has that addicting gameplay. They did add multiplayer to this game as well. They're always adding new DLC all the time. So Metallica was the latest one that they just added, so a lot of people are happy about that. So Beat Saber coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Arizona Sunshine 2. This is a game that a lot of people loved when it first came out. This is obviously a sequel to the original, and Vertigo Games did a great job with this one, really making an evolution of the original one that came out. The graphics are obviously much better in this one. You're going through a zombie apocalypse, going through the story, and it is a really fun story to go through. The physics are really cool, how you actually can kill the enemies and actually feel like you have a crowbar and a knife and stuff like that actually hitting these enemies. It is a super fun game. It's linear, but really, really fun. Love the cooperative nature. You can actually play with a friend and stuff like that as well. It is a game that a lot of people have loved. Arizona Sunshine 2 coming in at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is Metro Awakening. A lot of us know the Metro franchise, obviously, in the 2D space, and the fact that we actually got a full story Metro game that was specifically developed, again, by Vertigo Games for VR is fantastic, and they did a great job with this one as well as making you feel like you're in the Metro world that you guys all know and love from the 2D space. The graphics are actually really good for the Quest platform. They also have this game on the PC as well. It is awesome, the fact that we have a Metro game for the very first time in VR, and in that being in that world, having that little scary vibe and stuff like that as you go through the story, and the shooting and the gameplay all being there from that franchise, and the enemies and stuff like that popping out at you. It really does feel like a Metro game, and it's fantastic. For those of you guys who are fans of this franchise, definitely one I recommend you guys checking out. Metro Awakening coming in at number 8. The next one here coming in at number 7 is Assassin's Creed Nexus. This is obviously Assassin's Creed in VR, and when Ubisoft first announced this, I was really excited because I love the Assassin's Creed franchise. I have for a really long time. I've played a lot of them over on Xbox and PC and stuff, and to me, they did this game justice. I didn't know how this was going to be ported over to VR, how it was going to feel, and if you were going to get motion sickness from jumping around and stuff like that, but you do not, and the game is fantastic, and the graphics, when I first saw this on the Quest, really, really impressed me. So many NPCs and being in the world and stuff like that, having that open style nature into the game is still kind of in there, even though it's not completely open world. It has the open world feel to it, has the same Assassin's Creed gameplay, where you're hiding around things and jumping off of buildings and stuff like that, and sneaking up on enemies and using your swords. All of that is there. The combat is fun. Moving around the world is fun. They did a great job bringing the Assassin's Creed gameplay into VR, and Assassin's Creed Nexus comes in at number 7. The next one here coming in at number 6 is going to be Resident Evil 4. Obviously, this game is a game that a lot of us have played before on the GameCube and stuff like that, and it's super awesome that they actually brought this over into VR, and in my opinion, they did a great job with this one as well. No surprise, this really has the full Resident Evil gameplay that we all remember and know from the GameCube days, and honestly, it feels like this game should have always been done in VR. That's how good it actually is. Like, I don't ever want to play the GameCube version ever again, because this was so well done, and it feels like it was made for VR all along, even though it wasn't. That, I wouldn't play this game in any other way. It really feels like it was made for VR. It feels like I'm playing the game all over again for the first time, even though I played it on the GameCube before. All that horror and all that gameplay is all still there that you all know and love from the original, just done in VR, and it's super, super fun to have, Resident Evil game brought over into VR. So Resident Evil 4 coming in at number 6. The next one here coming in at number 5 is Skydance Behemoth, a game that's probably the newest one on the list, I believe. And this one just came out, and it really is the game that a lot of people have been waiting for. A lot of people have been waiting for a game kind of like Oblivion or Skyrim, or kind of in that nature and stuff. Giant open world where you can do all these different quests and stuff like that, and have that gameplay in here, exploring, beating all these gigantic bosses and stuff like that. Well, they did it. I think they did a great job of bringing that type of experience into VR with Behemoth, and a lot of people are enjoying it, and I would definitely put this one on the top of the list. So check this one out. Behemoth coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Walkabout Mini Golf. Yes, this one is super high on the list because these guys have been doing a fantastic job ever since the very beginning. It is a mini golf game that really makes you feel like you're in the mini golf experience. You can play with up to 7 of your friends online or single player, and the courses that they make and continue to make are fantastic. They have had so many courses, some from movie properties, some from real world locations or unique ideas that they come up with themselves, and every single one is amazing. They just came out with a Christmas themed course, which is outstanding. They came out with a layer one before that was super awesome, and they all have unique holes, unique ideas, and the creativity screams out of this game. It's a super popular game that a lot of people have loved for a really long time and continue to love, and these guys keep continuing to make courses all the time and at a really cheap price at only $2.99 for each course. course is kind of insane. Walkabout mini golf is fantastic, and it comes in at number 4. The next one here, coming in at number 3, is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. What a fantastic sequel to the original game. They expanded it in every single way. We were all a little bit nervous because they said it was going to be in the same, open world area, but they added so much to this game that you would think it's a brand new area and you would never know that you were in the original, because so many more different environments to explore, different sections of the map opened up, and different interiors opened up. And this is that Walking Dead experience that all of us know and love. There's so much to do in this game. Hours and hours of gameplay in here, different missions, different side missions, exploring the map, collecting and looting and stuff like that, killing the zombies, going out at night, and it being like a scary experience to see what's going to be around the corner, going out at night and scavenging for supplies and stuff like that. It is super, super awesome. It's the Walking Dead experience we all know and love. The original one was great, but this one expanded it in every single way. This game is so much fun. I'm still playing this game to this day, even though it's been around for a while, because there's so much to do in exploring this game, and hitting the zombies and killing them with the chainsaw and all these different weapons and stuff will never get old. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, coming in at number 3. The next one here, coming in at number 2, is Batman Arkham Shadow, another one that recently came out as well. But again, they knocked it out of the park with this one as well. This game is super awesome. We all wanted a full Batman game in VR. This is going to be, a game that a lot of people loved from start to finish, and maybe on people's lists in the top 10, even just across all games, not just in VR, like it would be for me. This was amazing. It's everything you can want in a Batman game, and an Arkham game specifically. You really feel like you are a Batman moving around and using your abilities and punching, and the combat is super fun to do. They nailed it. We all thought it was going to be hard for them to nail that combat system, but somehow they pulled it off. And the exploring the Batman Arkham the Batman Arkham Shadow story is here. Super fun to play through. The enemies are super fun. The story is super engaging and interesting. Multiple hours of gameplay. It's not like a short 1 or 2 hour experience. You have like 6 or 7 hours here. Again, super awesome. One of my favorite experiences of the year, and obviously one of my top games that I have played in VR. And this is easily going to sell headsets. It's awesome that it's being packed in with headsets for free right now, so everyone can experience how great this game actually is. Batman Arkham Shadow coming in at number 2. And the first one here coming in at number 1 has got to be Asgard's Wrath 2. And yes, I know there was some controversy when this game first came out that like Asgard's 1 was on the PC. So obviously the graphics aren't going to be as good in this game as they are in the first one, because nature of PC versus Quest. But everything else about this game is better on the sequel. Every other thing. If you were looking for a game that really engrosses you into a game and gives you hours and hours of gameplay, I'm talking about 50 plus hours that you can lose yourself into this adventure, and it gives you everything you love in the first one and just more of everything, more of exploring, more of the action, more of the boss battles, more gameplay, more weapons to explore, more unique things that they're doing into this game, even with incorporating mixed reality in some of the modes that you play, the unique puzzles that are in the game, the combat in this game, the story that they're telling is engaging and keeps you interested while you're playing. This is a full-on open world action adventure game that, kind of set the world apart when people were like, there's no way that we can have a full, VR game. There's no way that like games can be in VR as full as they are with, hours and hours of gameplay like they could on the 2D space. And this game obviously proved them wrong. There's so much gameplay in here and so many things to do that you can lose yourself, like I said, for God knows how long. Asgard's Wrath 2, my number 1. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my list of my top 25 games on the MetaQuest 2, 3, and 3S. So many fantastic games to choose from, so many new games that were added to this list from this year. That shows you how great the MetaQuest is doing, and we're getting bigger and better games every year. 2 years ago, we would have never thought we would have gotten a full-on Batman game in VR, and here we are with a full Batman game. Multiple games that are hours and hours long that we never thought was possible a couple years ago. It's not just bite-sized games anymore. There's games for everybody in every single genre, whether it's small, big, or medium. It's sports games, action games, all these different things, board games, and I can't wait to see what 2025 looks like, as a lot of games have already been announced that are looking really good. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and until next time.